Krystal Beslanowitch was a troubled teenager who was brutally murdered in Utah in 1995. The case went unsolved for over 2 decades until new evidence was discovered that finally led to a suspect. The case of Krystal Beslanowitch highlights the tireless efforts of law enforcement in seeking justice for victims of violent crime, and the importance of modern forensic technology in solving even the oldest cold cases. In today's video, we will be showing you oldest cold case finally solved, the Krystal Beslanowitch, 1995. Without further ado, let's begin. In 1995, the brutal murder of Krystal Beslanowitch, a 17-year-old girl in Salt Lake City, Utah, shocked the nation and became one of the oldest cold cases in the state's history. For years, despite numerous investigations and suspects, the case went unsolved, leaving her family and friends without closure and the killer at large. However, in 2015, new evidence emerged that finally solved the decades-long mystery of who killed Krystal Beslanowitch. Krystal was a troubled teen who had run away from her home in Washington state and was living on the streets in Salt Lake City. On December 13, 1995, her body was found by a passerby on the banks of the Provo River near Midway, Utah. She had been brutally beaten, stabbed, and left to die in the freezing cold. The case quickly went cold, and despite numerous investigations, no suspect was ever identified. When Detective Todd Park was assigned to the cold case unit, he began to re-examine the evidence from the crime scene. He discovered a pair of boots that had been found near the crime scene, but had never been fully investigated. With modern forensic technology, Park was able to match a DNA profile from blood found on Krystal's clothing to a suspect in a separate case, Joseph Michael Simpson. Simpson had a history of violence against women and had been living in the Salt Lake City area at the time of Krystal's murder. In addition to the DNA evidence, Park and his team found additional evidence linking Simpson to the crime, including witness statements and a match to the boots found near the crime scene. For years, the case remained unsolved until 2015 when a new detective, Todd Park, was assigned to the cold case unit in Salt Lake City. He began to re-examine the evidence and soon made a breakthrough. Using new forensic technology, he was able to extract a DNA profile from blood found on Krystal's clothing. The DNA was matched to a suspect in a separate case, Joseph Michael Simpson, a convicted rapist who had been living in California at the time of Krystal's murder. Park and his team immediately began investigating Simpson, who was in prison at the time for a separate crime. They discovered that he had a history of violence against women and that he had been living in the Salt Lake City area in 1995. They also found evidence linking him to the crime scene, including a pair of boots that matched footprints found near Krystal's body. With the new evidence, Park was able to charge Simpson with Krystal's murder, and in 2018, he was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. The verdict brought closure to Krystal's family, who had been waiting for over 2 decades for justice. The case of Krystal Beslanowitch is a testament to the power of modern forensic technology and the persistence of law enforcement in seeking justice for victims of violent crime. Thanks to the tireless efforts of Detective Park and his team, Krystal's killer was finally brought to justice, and her family was given the closure they had been waiting for. Though it took over 2 decades to solve, the case of Krystal Beslanowitch stands as a reminder that no case is truly closed, and justice can be served no matter how much time has passed. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.